Hello there and welcome to this week's chat. I'll just switch off this noisy thing and I'm going back in time again. This time to an 8-year-old me who used to listen to a transistor radio like this in my bedroom through a horrible white plastic earpiece which used to make a very tinny sound, but it was my access to the top 30 and more of what was going on musically. I used to listen to Radio Luxembourg, which was in English, and I used to listen to the Star Chart on a Sunday evening. That was the top 30, and also there was Earthlink, which was on in the early hours, and I would sneak on the radio in bed and listen to whatever I could find on there to listen to as well. And I would find access to new music. In those days there was no internet, so really your only access as a kid to new music was through the radio, and later through going to record shops and going through the bins and talking to people who liked similar things and stuff like that. And I was lucky enough to have a brother who was a big music fan, and so I had access to his records as well, and so that was my way in, you know. Nowadays we've all got endless lists of whatever you want to find from all over the planet on Spotify and Apple and all those sorts of things, but it wasn't always like that. And I must say it made you a bit more sociable, because you got involved with talking to people about what sort of music they were into, and people would recommend to each other and swap albums to lend to each other and stuff like that, you know. So maybe the slower times were better times, you know, who knows. So that was the transistor radio. Transistors were around from 1947, and the radio devices got smaller and smaller and smaller. Previously they'd been valve things and enormous, and you needed to have like a piece of furniture in your room, not a tiny little thing. And nowadays, of course, it's streaming, so you don't even need the device itself, you know. It's how far it has come. It's quite amazing, isn't it? So anyway, this finding these random things in the middle of the night, sometimes on long wave, I wouldn't know what the artist's name was, but I would enjoy the music, and I'd be listening to this foreign announcer trying to discern what was the name of the artist, and never really could. I did an album in 1996 called Suspension of Disbelief, and this was a sort of to pay tribute to these unknown artists who I'd heard on the radio all those years back. And I'm thinking of remixing it, remastering it, and re-releasing it, because maybe it's time that I did. You know, it was on I released it on cassette years back, and I'll get it playing in the background here. So it had acoustic guitar and then electric guitar over the top. It had some radio noise, and it also had some sort of electric motors and things going on in it. And it was, to give you the impression of that fading in and out of radio stations. So maybe that's coming soon. Just releases Parallel Expression, which quite a few people are listening to, so I'm grateful for that. Thanks. And also I'm trying to book some shows at the moment. I've got some coming in for summer, so I'm grateful for that as well. And also trying to grow this channel a bit. So Rick Beato is fond of saying that 60% of people aren't subscribed to his channel. Well, it's 99% in my case. So if you can find your finger over to that subscribe button, please do it, and like it as well if you can, you know, it would mean a lot. So this is the music from 1996, and you know, it brings back a few memories hearing that again. And also, how good is cassette tape? You know, that this was done on cassette tape all those years ago. There's no dropouts, runs fine, and is quite intelligible, you know. So the old magnetic mediums were quite robust, really, you know. So there you go. I'm going to leave it there and fade this out and play a little more. Not so much of a fade out, just the off switch on on my cassette. So with a bit more of the same tune in a different key, which was called Fake Fur, I'll bid you goodbye for this week. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one.